Welcome everybody, and let's just take a breath together just to arrive. So just let you know, I am recording the session, but I'll be the only one on the film because I've muted everyone else. But if anyone feels uncomfortable about that, just put your video on to off, turn your video off. So welcome everyone, it's just so wonderful to see so many people have turned up for this session. Please let me know if there's any problem with my sound or anything. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so if we begin with just imagining a core of light that's coming down through our head, down through the body and down through the earth. And this core light, I always like to start with this because this holds us strong. And when we go into the breath work, we're going to more the subconscious and the emotional realm. And by getting this core of light really strong, we can always return back to this at any point. So if you allow yourself to feel how strong you feel with that, the clarity, the focus. And this is like our balance point as well. So if we do go into the motions, we can always come back to this point at any time. Yeah, so just thank you so much for every one of you for turning up tonight. I think tonight's subject, it's owning our sexual power, is probably one of the most important that I've brought to these sessions. Because owning our sexual power is really owning our place in the world. It's our right to create, it's our right to express, it's our right to allow the life force to move through us. And yet, I mean, even those two words separately, sexual and power, they've both got so much negative connotations attached. You know, and so much woundedness and fear, that can come up with either of those words. So thank you for the trust. Thank you for coming together to support not just your journey but everybody else's journey in here. Tonight's session, because we're doing the healing with the divine masculine, the focus of the session is around the healing of the wounds inflicted by men to women. In the future sessions we are going to be looking at the wounds inflicted by women to men, but in this session we're looking at the other. So thank you for the women for turning up in the vulnerability of that, and also for the men who are also affected by this and very aware that there is a collective guilt or shame that a lot of men hold around this theme. And a lot of men might step out of the power in order to make women feel safe, or accept abuse from women in order to make them safe. And that's why I think it's so important that actually we come together to do this healing work, and we need each other. We need to feel safe around each other, and supported by each other to be in our power again. And maybe doing it online with that bit of physical safety is actually the best way we can possibly do it, But yeah, so I thank, both the men and women for turning up for this and turning up together. And, as a breathe tonight, we're supporting, this is collective healing as well. It's not just this is we're doing this for planetary healing. We're doing this for the collective. It goes so deep, this work. So thank you for turning up for yourselves and for everyone else, who can't be here tonight as well. So in tonight's session, I know there's some people who've never been to a breathwork workshop before. Some people who've never been on Zoom before tonight. So thank you so much for being brave enough to turn up. If you have any questions throughout, please just drop them in the chat box. I have muted everybody just so that with there being so many people here. But yeah, at any time, just drop anything in the chat box. But for tonight's session, what we're going to do is going to be sort of 3 parts. And in the first part, we're going to be doing a shamanic journey, which I'll talk through more in a second. And then we're going to do the breath work. And we'll do the breath work for about an hour. And then finally I'll do some sort of vocal toning. I'll be using the Shiva mantra that was playing at the beginning. You're totally welcome to join along with that in your own space if you want to, or you can just receive it as well, whatever feels right for you. But there's just something lovely after the breath work of just allowing sound to flow through it. And you know, sound in itself is sort of very, very healing and very vibrational. For cleansing, you know, the last of what needs to be cleansed. What we don't need to be carrying, and that's what we're doing the breath work for. Really, it's when we do the breath work, with each breath we are filling ourselves with so much light, with so much love, and you know, it helps to sort of wash away, melt away, you know, what isn't compatible with that love anymore. You know, in our physical bodies we often hold a lot of traumas or a lot of repressed emotions that we weren't able to express at the time, or maybe were passed on ancestrally to us. Emotions and sort of patterns as well, and by working with the breath, you know, I've worked a lot in healing like for the past 25 years, and for me breath work is what goes the fastest, the deepest to where it needs to go. It's like it has its own intelligence, and it just goes to where it needs to go. And so during the session, emotions do come to the surface often, but they just come up to be released, you know, and you know, we're not suppressing anything by doing this. It will come up to be integrated. Oh, I'm just waving back to Northern Ireland and Canada there. So with, you know, in it any time, I'll just say as well about feeling safe, and I will go through how to do the breath work a bit more in a second, but about feeling safe as well, it is so important. In it any time, you know, you remain in control of your own experience with both not so much the shamanic journey in a little bit, it's sort of like the start, but as we're going to the breath work, we are creating an altered state, a bit like the in-between state between being awake and asleep, but you always remain in control. You're always aware, and if any time you don't feel comfortable, or you think, oh, this is going on a bit rocky ground, I don't feel comfortable, you know, you remain in control, and you can come out of it at any time by slowing down the breathing or by opening your eyes. And it's really important, especially because we are in an online space and I'm not there with you physically, to really be aware of our own needs, and to take this easy. Like I say, this is a powerful subject, and even just turning up for tonight, even just being here, being present and supporting that intention, that's like powerful enough for itself for some people, you know. And so really tune in to what's right for you tonight, and to honour that, and don't think it's not enough, or even if you just breathe for 10 minutes and think, oh, that's me done, that's totally fine. Just really honour that. So when we do the breath work, for people who haven't done before, so the way I do breath work, it's a bit different to a lot of practitioners in that I don't use music. I breathe along with you, and my voice acts as an anchor for you to remember to breathe, but you don't have to go at the same speed as what I'm going to. It's much more important that you listen to your own body and you listen to your own breath. And the reason I don't do it along with music is because the way that the technique that I use for the breathing gets into quite an altered state, and I think it's quite important that we just stay in touch with the purity of where it is our own body wants to take us and our own breath wants to take us, and also we can come out of it any time. When we add music, we are influenced by the music as well, and that can sometimes be too much. Sometimes it's better to be with just to allow the sacred, the divine to flow through us, in a purer way. But if you don't like and you want to put music on, that's totally fine as well, because you're in your own space. So when we do the breath work, we usually begin lying on our backs with arms at our sides, and just because this is the most surrendered position, and it gives the space for our body to move if it wants to. If you need to as well, you can always put your hands on here just to check that you're breathing in the right places. But yeah, usually start lying on our backs. We are going to be breathing into the upper part of our chest for this one as well. Different breathwork techniques breathe into different parts of the bodies, and a lot of the yogic techniques encourage breathing into the lower part of the chest, and because this brings a much more spiritual experience. We are going to be breathing into the heart and into the upper part of the chest if possible, because we are looking to clear past patterns and all traumas that we may be holding on to, and we hold these in the upper part of the chest. If you have done yogic training in the past and you've done a lot of the lower chest breathing, it can sometimes take a little bit longer to get the technique right. But I really encourage you to try to stick with it if possible, because that prior breathwork practice will really, once you get this part going as well, you'll be fantastic at it. But sometimes it just takes a little bit unlearning. But we are breathing into this upper part, so we just practice now. We usually do the breathing through our mouth as well. So, and we don't pause. The biggest, most important thing is we don't pause between the in breath and the out breath. So it's like that. And you can always put your hand in the middle of your breastplate as well, and just to check if that's moving up and down. A bit like babies do, you know. And generally, the faster you do the breathing, the more altered a state you get into, and the slower that you do the breathing, the more gentle the experience you get. So do trust what's right for you. I often do the faster breathing in the first 10 minutes, just because then it gets me in an altered state, and then I also, after that, I sort of trust my body's all knowing, and sometimes your body does know to move from this upper chest. So it's, although we say like we start with this upper chest breathing as well, we have to trust our body's own intelligence, and the breath will go to where it needs to go. And don't worry whether you're getting it right or getting it wrong. If you breathe in that connected breath with no pauses between the in-breath and the out-breath, you will have an experience. You'll have the experience of what's right for you tonight. And the most important thing as well is that we're setting this intention for healing, and for healing of this, you know, of stepping into owning our sexual power, and healing the past stories that we don't need to be carrying anymore. And setting that intention in itself will guide the energy to where it needs to go. So when we're doing the breathing, we're breathing in and out through the mouth if possible. But if you decide that's too much, you can do a gentler breathe, just breathing in and out through your nose. Sorry, I'll move my speaker nearer. So if you feel you want a gentler breathe tonight, you can do the breathing through your nose. And when we're doing the breathing as well, try to focus on the in-breath, because we want to be over-oxygenate our body, filling our body with light. So we breathe in and just relax out. We can have different effects when we're doing the breath work. We might get like tingling hands, and might get cramps in our hands as well. If that happens, it's really normal. You can either just continue to breathe through them, or you can stop the breathing for a while and come back. If you do stop the breathing, the effects do come down a bit, because we can very quickly come out of it. So just play what's right for you. Other things that can happen is your body might start moving. Sometimes your arms might lift, sometimes your head might shake, your legs might shake. This is all, again, really normal. So if this happens, give yourself body's permission. It's like once we're going to that sort of subconscious, and we're allowing the body's intelligence to do what it needs to go. It knows what it needs. The body knows what it needs to do to heal. It knows what it needs to do to release what's trapped in it. So really trust that flow. Other things that might happen, might get a dry throat, so it's good to have a drink of water ready for you. And you might get visions, which are great. You might get fluctuations in temperature as well, so it's good to sometimes have a blanket next to you. So sometimes you can get this involuntary movement, but sometimes as well you might just get an impulse like I want to turn onto my side, or I want to, sit up. I want to massage myself. Follow those as well. If it's not right, you can always go back to lying down, but just follow those impulses and see where it needs to go. If you feel impulse to stand up and start dancing or something like that, just be careful, because you will be in an altered state, and you don't want to hurt yourself or anything like that. And so just to let you know as well, there are some contraindications I did send out on the email, but there's some things that we've got to be really careful doing the breath work for. And if you've got any of these, we should have doctor's consent, but we've just got to be especially careful because we're doing this online. And you've got to, we've got to look after our own needs. So this doesn't stop you doing the breath work. I just wouldn't do the conscious connected breath work. I would just do gentler breathing love into your heart. But if you've got pregnancy, history of psychosis or severe mental illness, heart or blood pressure problems, glaucoma or epilepsy, I wouldn't advise doing the connected breathing. Just stay in the love, stay with the intention, and be part of, allow other people here to breathe for you. We're all breathing for each other, and it's, we're coming together. Yeah, just let's just see what happens. What I love about breathwork more than anything is it's different every time, even now, and it doesn't matter whether you are experienced at it or whether it's your first time. Sometimes even now I'll just do it and I'll just get, I've went through all these things, so I might just get a little bit tingling in my fingers. And other times you just have this big visionary, ancient healing experience, and it's, don't judge, the extremes or the catharsis, on whether it's worked or not. The breath has its intelligence. It'll work in a way that's right for you tonight. And that might be a gentler experience. It might be a more powerful one. It might be an emotional release one. Because emotions, I think I forgot to mention that, but it's very, very common for emotions to come to the surface. And if that does happen, allow them to come up, allow them to be expressed, because all it's doing, it's moving so we can bring in more of the light, bring in more of the love. So has anyone got any questions about any of that? So just the breathing technique is, we have our mouths open, we're breathing into the upper part of the chest, and we're not holding between the in-breath and the out-breath. So breathe at a rhythm that's right for you. So if I'm breathing, I'm going to be breathing along with you to remind you to breathe. But if I'm breathing too fast, just breathe slower. Sometimes you may pause, have big pauses because you've over-oxygenated yourself so much you don't actually need to breathe, and that's totally normal as well. And it's a really blissful experience when that does happen. But the most important thing is that we don't hold the pause, the breaths really. Yeah. And so for the first 5 to 10 minutes, it is a bit boring, and we're just like, is this it? But after that, we do go into this altered state, and the body kind of takes over, and you don't have to think about it as much. Sometimes you can bliss out too fast and you can go to sleep. So it's kind of reminding yourself just to keep with the breathing. But it's an adventure, and we'll just see what happens as well. Yeah, you don't have to hold on to your chest. You can't have your hands at your side. I'm just doing that because for me, it can sometimes be a way of just feeling, am I using my upper part of my chest? And I can feel if it's rising or falling, but you don't have to. The most common way is just to have your arms by your side. And you can just always visualize, is it moving there as well? So what we're going to do first of all is, we're going to do the shamanic journey. Often people like to do this lying down, so you can do it sitting up if you want, but if you want to do it lying down, just get yourself comfortable now. and I'm going to speak you through it. So for tonight's shamanic journey, we're going to journey to the upper world, where we're going to meet the divine. We're going to call in the divine masculine. I call in the divine masculine as Shiva, but it might not appear as Shiva to you. To me, Shiva is, who, if anyone doesn't know, is like the Indian god, but I just experience it as the divine masculine, but it holds all the other vibrations of the divine masculine within. So you may experience something else, but it'll be the one that's most perfect for you, to give you the power, to give you the healing that's needed to clear away your own personal experiences. And the gift about doing the shamanic journey and the breathwork itself, to be honest, is, I'm not teaching you what you need. You are accessing what you need yourself. You're meeting your own version of the divine masculine, and you're going to be getting your own answers and your own healing in the way that's most perfect for you. So yeah, so we're going to go up to the upper world, because in the upper world, that's where we meet guides in human form, like the gods, like the goddesses. And we're going to hold the intention. We're going to go up to the upper world to meet the divine masculine. Don't worry if nothing appears for you. We'll just set the intention. We're doing a full breath work afterwards, so there's still plenty of time. But we're going to go up there. And for today's session, I'm going to ask you to go up there, and I'm going to also ask you to find out if there's a positive affirmation that you can use to support you within the breathwork session tonight. And the reason we're going to bring this in is because of the subject in owning your sexual power, and is we might need some energetic support, or we might need something just to help with to navigate that. Actually, owning our sexual power is a positive thing. It's connecting to a part of ourselves, a truth about ourselves, but yet we might need some extra support to break free of an old belief system. Examples might be like, it is safe to own my sexual power, or it is safe to surrender to sexual power. Whatever it is for you, we're going to go up there and we're going to find, is there a support and affirmation? And then during the breath work, we can use those affirmations just by repeating them in our head during the breath work to help us free ourselves from any patterns, any opposing patterns, so that we can fully embody more of ourselves, if that makes sense. So don't worry if you haven't done a shamanic journey before. All that happens, the shamanic journey is just a way of bridging our conscious and our subconscious together. So let's do that by using visualization to start with. So when I start, I'm going to drum for about 10 minutes. And when I start drumming, I just want you to imagine finding a way to go up to the upper world, floating upwards and until we get to the upper world. And I often just see this as like a land of clouds. And when we go there, we're going to have our guide waiting for us, hopefully, because we just do know we're coming. But otherwise, we can call them in of our divine masculine. We can find out who they are, and if they've got a positive affirmation for us that we can use in the breathwork session tonight. And we can also ask as well if there's any sort of area of the body or any sort of area that we should be around this subject that we particularly need to focus our healing or our breath in tonight. If there's anything else you want to ask, it's your journey, so you can as well. So I'll lead you through that bit to start with, and then following that, towards the end, we've also got the option, if you want to, we can merge with the energy of that god. Doing this allows us to receive their power and their healing, and just clear away anything that we are holding that isn't compatible with us. Again, this is just optional. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm going to lead you through it, so don't worry about remembering it all now. But to merge with the god, all we do is we can like sort of invite them into ourselves, or we can step into their energy as well. If that doesn't feel right though, we can just bring them by our side into the breathwork session tonight as well. So if that feels okay, just closing your eyes. Closing your eyes, and again, Just to remind you, when I start drumming, we're going to hold the intention that we're going to the upper world to meet a guide, to meet our God, our divine masculine guide tonight, and to ask for support for us to own our sexual power, to let go of our past patterns and stories that no longer serve us, in order to end this cycle of hurt and blame between men and women. That you can use in tonight's breathwork session to keep you safe and to support your healing. one is the one that you can choose yourself. Can you choose a one for yourself tonight? Right, we're just going to allow yourself to emerge with that guide, or you can just allow them to still be sat by your side to support you. And to merge, we're just going to either step into their energy or use our arms to invite their energy into ours. So just coming a bit back to awareness, just if you want to make any notes about any of your experiences or what you, the name of your God, or if you've got an affirmation, something, it's good to write it down. It helps also to bring it in the breath work. If you wanted to share what your affirmation was or the name of your God, aspect of the Divine Masculine is in the chat box. Please feel free to do as well. If you do that, I'll be able to share it with you during the breathwork session as well. I love that. I'm in control and it's time to let go. So I love about shamanism that we can get completely different advice, and both of them are perfectly right because they're right. What's right for us, what our truth. Perfect. I am powerful. I release shame and guilt. I forgive myself and others. You are worth it. I'm deserving of pleasure. I'm empowered by my sexuality. I own my body. I am pure. I don't need approval. Beautiful. I am enough. I am whole. I am worthy. I love myself inside and out. Zeus sounds a really powerful god to be bringing in. So yeah, very powerful. I don't know much about him, but always look up afterwards. I think it's sounds an awesome one. So just get the right ones. I remember once we were doing the feminine one, I was given the Statue of Liberty and I didn't understand it, and then it turns out she was a Greek goddess, Libertas, and she was all about freedom, and that really, really was what I was working on at that time. So sometimes, I think sometimes when we get surprises and we don't quite understand them, it's like, actually receive that gift and see where it takes you. I am loved. I am juicy, fresh sexiness. New in every moment, free from the past. Beautiful. So when you feel ready, just lying down, get yourself comfortable. Oh, Angel Raphael, beautiful. Beautiful healing guardian. So yeah, so just feeling into the support that you have with you tonight, and whether or not you saw a guide in your journey or not, we are all held within that energy. We are all held within the love to do this healing work, to reconnect to this aspect of ourselves, and to own that we are already this too. I'm just going to get a drink of water. So if you want to use your affirmation during the breathing, I'll maybe start bringing them in maybe about halfway through. But if you do hear yours, or you hear another one which speaks to you at the time, what you can do during the breathing is just repeat it in your head as you're doing the breathing. So I am loved, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough. Just repeating it in your head as you do the breathing. We're not doing the affirmations to suppress with stuff, but what happens is sometimes as we're bringing in the new, this like sort of new pattern, this new programming, it can help to shake the opposing programming to the surface to be released. As always, though, you don't have to do it if it doesn't feel right. This is about you being in control. This is your experience. And at any time, if it doesn't feel right, you can just open your eyes, return to a normal space. It's also up to you if you want to do it with your cameras on or off. And whatever feels right for you. So when you feel ready, we're going to start. Yeah, just again, we're just going to set the intention. Tonight's breathe is one that comes from the highest love for us to connect to all parts of ourselves, and that includes our sexual power. So from doing this, we can bring even more love to the world, because this sexual power is our creativity, is our passion, and is the life force that wants to flow through us. So when you feel ready, we're just going to begin the breathing. And we just try to keep our eyes closed throughout as well, so we become aware of the inner world. So breathing in on the in-breath and just relaxing on the out-breath. And if you need to shake your body at all, just to help it move or make a sound, just help that energy flow. Just give yourself permission to do that. And just really holding that intention of welcoming back, with each breath we're welcoming back our true power, our true sexuality, our true truth, and melting away any blocks that are between us fully owning that power. Give yourself permission to yawn, open that throat, to make a sound, to move your body. And if you do feel you need to yawn, know that there is a connection between our throat and our womb, our sexual openings. Just allowing more of that life force to flow through you. And just remember to breathe at a pace that's right for you. If you want to do gentler, just through your nose, it's totally fine. If you want to do faster and go deeper into the catharsis, into freedom, feel free. There's no right, there's no wrong. Just listening to your own body and what you need at that time is the most powerful thing that you can do.
And just remember, if you need to, you can call in your guide for support. Raphael, Zeus, John, Jesus, Buddha, Shiva. Just welcome in the love of the beloved. If any tears come out, do allow them to flow. Do allow them to flow. The soul energy just needs to be moved through. Just making space for more love within our heart, within our pelvis, within our wombs, within our sexual organs. If any anger comes and you need to move your body, just allowing that to shake out. giving it a sound if need be. Just allowing what needs to be released so that more love can flow into our body. And then when it feels right, just carrying on with the breathing. I am in control. I am in control. I am in control. It's time to let go. It's time to let go. It's time to let go. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. I have the power to release my shame, my guilt, and to forgive myself and others. I release my shame and guilt, and I forgive myself and others. I release my shame, my guilt, and I forgive myself and others. I know I am worth it. I know I am worth it. I know I am worth it. I am whole. I am worthy. I am deserving of pleasure. I am whole. I am worthy. I am deserving of pleasure. I am empowered in my sexuality. I am empowered in my sexuality. I am empowered in my sexuality. I own my own body. I own my body. I own my body. I am pure and I do not need approval. I am pure and I don't need your approval. I am pure and I don't need your approval. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am whole. I am worthy. I am whole. I am worthy. I am whole. I am worthy. And just welcoming that love and allowing it to move. What needs to be moved, any old stories, any patterns, anything that isn't the truth of who you are, that love that you truly are. That divine light that was born to shine, that was born to be here in all of your power and all of your light. Let go and let love in. Let go and let love in. Let go and let love in. I am loved. 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 Yes. And feel how loved. Breathe in that love. You are that love. I am juicy, fresh sexiness. I am juicy, fresh sexiness now, every moment. I am free from the past. I am juicy, fresh sexiness now, new every moment, free from the past. I set myself free to be in my truth, to be in my light, and to be in my true power. I am here. 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 I own my sexual power. I own my sexual power. I own my sexual power. I allow myself to shine. I allow myself to shine. I allow myself to shine. So we just come to the last 10 minutes, so just taking back anything else that you need to take back, any powers that you've accidentally given away or been taken from you. Now is the time to take them all back. Take back what's yours and stand in your true light, your true power, and your true self. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shiva. 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya. Om Namah 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 Shivaya. So you're just going to take 5 minutes of silence now, so you can either still just stay in that energy, or if you want to make any notes, or if you want to send any of this love that we've connected to out into the world as a prayer. At the end of the 5 minutes, I'll put a song on so you know it's over. Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down. Oh, no. So don't you bring me down today. To all your friends, you're delirious, so consumed in all your doom. Trying hard to fill the emptiness, the peace is gone. Left the puzzle undone, and I go is. You are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring you down. Oh, no. You are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring you down. Oh, no. So don't you bring me down today. No matter what we do, no matter what we do, no matter what we say. Yeah, oh yeah. And everywhere we go, we are beautiful, no matter what we say. Yes, words won't bring us down. We are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can bring us down. Oh, no. So don't you bring me down today. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Don't you bring me down. Don't you bring me down today.
Oops. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, that was a really special experience for me. Actually, of all the breath works I've done, I think that one felt like it was the most co-created, because of the affirmations that were both throughout. And that is something I could not have created by myself. So thank you. Yeah, and the singing, and thank you for all the singing voice. My voice sounded so different to what it normally does. I was really surprised when the sound started coming out, because that's not like how my voice normally sounds. Yeah, really interesting. I'm going to pause the video. So I'm just going to just to let everybody know as well, before we draw the meeting to a close, that we have filled ourselves with so much light, so much healing energy tonight. And the healing doesn't just happen in the session, it does continue after the session as that energy sort of moves through our bodies. So so tomorrow, if you do wake up and you feel teary or you feel tired, just continue to allow that to move through you. Just continue to breathe, and it's like a bit like a healing crisis that you do get sometimes with alternative therapies, but you will feel better for it afterwards. If anybody does need to to speak to me, please just drop us an email. I'm always open to that, and I do think it's an important part when hold sessions like this to be open to support people in case anything comes up too much following the session. So yeah, so don't think you have to go through it alone. I do also run a Facebook group for the people who practice this regular together, and if you feel like you would like to do that, it isn't always this theme. We are continuing this theme for the next 3 sessions, but it is always around healing this sort of inner man, inner masculine, inner woman sort of dynamic, because when we work and we heal these together, we can return to this place of love, and we're not projecting these old stories and imprints out onto other people in the world. I really believe this, like, if we can turn in and do this healing ourselves, then it affects how we meet the rest of the world, and by changing ourselves we can change the world. Well, it's a start, and I do believe that this makes a difference, otherwise I wouldn't do it. So I'll send details of that if you do feel that it's right for you to continue practice, and also if anybody feels like they would like to train to be a breathwork facilitator, I am teaching with Benedict Beaumont on the breathing space facilitator training that's starting in February. So I'll send details of how you can find out more about that as well. But most important is to look after yourself following the session. Eat well, drink plenty of water, especially if you've cried. Water just really supports the energy to move through ourselves as well. And just be lovely to yourself. And this is like not just following the session, this is for the rest of your life. I want you to be absolutely lovely to yourself. Kind, do something nice, buy yourself a little present every day, or if you can't afford it, just find yourself someone that you've bought in the past and wrap it up or something. Just be lovely to yourself. And I think that's all I can think of, but if I think of any other lovely things, I'll drop them in the email. So yeah, let's have a final breath together. I'm not going to end the room straight away, so you just leave in your own time. I'm going to have a read through all of these lovely messages, because I can see that there's more popping up and I haven't had a read of them through. But thank you so much for the lovely messages as well. I really appreciate that, because like I say, I do get nervous, and it means a lot to us to hear that you enjoyed it and stuff. So, but we'll take a final breath together. Just put our hands on our hearts, and yeah, just look at all these lovely faces in the room as well that we've journeyed with tonight, that we've sent this love out. We've connected in this place of love at a time when, there's a lot of fear in the world, and there's a lot of shock about the changes that are happening. And we've stood in this place of love, and we've stood in our own power. And that's a really strong and powerful thing to do. So, well done. And as we do that for ourselves, we do that to support everyone else here, and we support we support everybody else we come into contact with by doing this work as well. So thank you. So just taking a deep breath with all that, and thank you. Bye. So yeah, just pop off in your own time. I'm going to sit and read these lovely messages. Thank you.